Creating a speedometer chart with game design in Excel. In cell A2, enter the initial value of general productivity as an example, 35%. In cell B2, enter the formula to calculate the remaining percentage of 100%, resulting in 65%. We will need another value, 50%, for designing the gauge part of the speedometer chart. This portion will be for the bottom part. Create a table for a new data series that will be used in the design as the speedometer scale, a total of 15 equal values, 10 for the scale and 5 for the bottom part of the chart. Select the range of cells and create a chart in Excel. Remove all unnecessary elements and make the background transparent, leaving only the scale outlines. Add a new data series from the first 3 initial values. Use the Chart Type Change tool to place the data series on different axes of the chart, primary and secondary. The secondary axis should have the second data series, bringing it to the foreground. Rotate the chart by 240 degrees clockwise. Make the first sector's background transparent, the second black, and the last with a white gradient. Pay attention to the settings for the white gradient with transparency elements. To demonstrate the gradient fill of the sector, temporarily make the background black. Remove the outlines in 2 sectors. Create an oval shape to design the speedometer scale using a combination of semi-transparent shapes with different colors. Each shape is styled with a semi-transparent radial gradient at different fill angles. Copy the shape while holding down the Control key on the keyboard. Change the gradient color and its angle. Overlay the semi-transparent shapes and align them to the center. Experiment with gradient colors to achieve the best result. Note that it is important to maintain the color order with transparent fill. This affects the radial gradient style. The layering order of the colored shapes also impacts the final result. Add a third oval shape in magenta for a semi-transparent gradient with a different angle and place it on the top layer. Front, maintaining the order is important. The last oval should be red and on the front layer. Group all the ovals. Make the chart background transparent. Change the positioning order of shapes in the chart so that the chart is in the foreground and the shapes are underneath. Create a new worksheet with a black background. Transfer the chart and shapes to the new sheet. Adjust the sizes and optimize the positions of objects on the Excel worksheet. Add a new oval with a black radial semi-transparent gradient fill color. Remember to remove the outline. Ensure that the gradient style is centered. Add a label for the current values of the speedometer chart. Note that when the label shape is selected, enter the reference to the initial value in the formula bar. Only then format the object. Create data for a future counter that will control the speedometer. Now, cell A5 will hold the initial value, and cell A2 will have a formula converting initial values into percentages. Since the form control element, the counter works only with whole numbers. From the Developer tab, choose to insert a counter control and draw it as a square on the new sheet. Right-click to open the context menu to specify minimum and maximum values and the reference to the chart's initial data in the counter settings. Now we can control the chart. We made the speedometer chart interactive. Add another useful control element to enhance and expand the chart's interactivity. To do this, create another new data sheet. On the new sheet, create a table with different initial data for 1 week. The first column is the sequential day of the week, the second is the name of the day, and the third is different values for each day. Based on the initial table, create a pivot table and place it in cell A15 on the same sheet. Fill in the field parameters accordingly when creating the pivot table. Create a formula for extracting values from the initial table based on the pivot table values for the future named range. All references in the arguments should be absolute since we will use the formula in the named range later. Based on the pivot table, create a pivot table slicer and chart control. To do this, create a slicer from the Insert menu. The Excel cursor must be in the pivot table range to be active when creating the slicer. Check the boxes to indicate which data should be used for the slicer button labels. Test the formula's functionality. Go to the Formula tab to create a named range. Name it Weekday. In the Reference field, insert the formula for extracting values from the initial table. All references in the formula arguments must be absolute. In the counter settings, change the reference to the named range Weekday. Also, change the initial value of the chart in cell A5 on the first worksheet processing to reference the named range Weekday. Transfer the slicer and style its appearance. The slicers are styled using the template settings on the Slicer tab. Therefore, we need to duplicate the already created template to get its copy and modify it. Then specify it as the template used for the slicer. Now we have the ability to control the same initial data using two control elements. Use the slicer for quick changes on the chart and the counter for fine-tuning and adjusting values during the presentation. Download the ready-made game design speedometer chart template using the link in the pinned comment to the video.